Hey, this is Match the Stampede with Two Stupid Gamers, and we're introducing a brand new series to the channel. So if you're not familiar with iRacing, in this video, I'm going to explain it a little bit for you first. Then we'll go take a look at the content that is currently up for the service, and we'll also include a couple of tips to help you along the way. Get your gloves on. It's time to go iRacing. For those uninitiated, iRacing is a racing simulator where you can compete against other drivers all over the world for real bragging rights. Since the mechanics and rules are super realistic, you are basically doing real-life racing from the comfort of your home. You are even rated based on your performance and safety, but we'll cover more about that later. Now, even though this is a very enthusiast level experience, don't be afraid because all skill levels are welcome. If you have a wheel, pedals, and a TV, you can join the fun. Just please don't be that asshole that rear-ends everyone before the race starts. Now, what's really important to iRacing is content. The content in iRacing is shuffled on a weekly basis, and there are overall seasons that players go through, which means you only have 7 days to participate in a race at a specific track for a specific car or cars with specific rule sets. This keeps the experience varied and forces players to squeeze as much time out of the sim once their favorite track comes up because, again, after 7 days, that's gone. Currently, in May 2024, at the time of this recording, iRacing is on Season 2, which introduced new tracks, an update to vehicle damage models. They further specified the racing categories for road courses, according to Formula and sports cars, and they did a lot more too, including the addition of rain. This option to the game, according to my basic understanding of what I read online, is something that was sorely lacking from this sim for years. That's really cool that they finally added it. Now, for this video, I'm not going to be able to cover every last race and series from this season/week of iRacing, just because there would be too much to fit in one video. But I'm still going to let you know the standouts, highlights, what was going really well for me, and just general experiences that I had. So right now, I'm starting this series most of the way through Season 2, between weeks 9 and 10, which is going to make this a little bit of an awkward release. It does mean that some of the content will be gone by the time this is up, but I feel it's nevertheless worth mentioning. For week 9, I really enjoyed the track choices for the Rookie Series, Formula 1600, and Mazda MX-5 Cup. We saw the return of my favorite road course in the Northeast US, which is Connecticut's Lime Rock Park. Yeah, I love the Formula 1600 car as well as the Mazda MX-5 for this game, so it's cool that the sim gave me some good reasons to use them. Now, on the oval side, the picks for oval racing this week weren't as interesting. A few weeks back, I got my first taste of the 1987 NASCAR at Talladega, and it was honestly some of the most intensely addicting racing I've done on here so far. So I was a little disappointed for week 9 in terms of the oval offerings they had. What we have for week 9 is the new next-gen NASCAR at Talladega for Draft Masters, which isn't necessarily the most fun, especially when I just got that sweet 1987 NASCAR at the same track a couple weeks back. And for the Arca Menard series, which I really enjoyed last week, they went to a track that I don't own and therefore can't use without purchasing it first, Atlanta Motor Speedway. So I can't really talk much about that. I've not raced at the track. I do like the Arca Menard series in iRacing, but yeah, I didn't pay for this track, so I don't have it, and therefore I can't race this series for week 9. However, one thing to make note of from week 9 for ovals is the Fanatec Street Stock Series, which finally came back to Charlotte Motor Speedway. And this is also going to be my MASH racing tip for this video, specifically on how to improve safety rating for the oval class. While you're journeying up the ladder of iRacing, you will encounter the ranking system, which goes Rookie, Classes D through A, and finally, the Pro rank. It wasn't until recently that I learned you actually get ranked up to the next license rank based on how your driving is going. And yeah, every race gives you safety rating at the end, which increases or decreases with each ranked category race based on how many incidents you have. So the more incidents you get during a given race, the worse your safety rating will be affected once the race is over, and vice versa. Well, I found that the Fanatec Street Stock series for Charlotte is perfect to help increase your oval safety rating fast. But you gotta cheese it a little, and I'm about to explain how to do that. This is a rookie level series, so you will run into a lot of unnecessarily aggressive drivers on lap 0. And if we're being honest, the first few laps are going to be really dangerous, and it's likely that you'll get into contact with other drivers because people are just so reckless early on. Because the sim uses a no-fault system, both drivers will get incidents. And even if it really wasn't your fault and you had nothing to do with it, and even if the race hasn't even started or it ended already, you will still get a hit on your safety rating. So this was incredibly frustrating at first, but I did a little bit of digging and I came up with a few ways to help minimize your incidents while playing this series and help you rank up. So what you want to do to start is make sure to enter the race at the appropriate time to do the practice session and the qualifying, because both of those count. And just be super careful to stay away from any other drivers or the wall. Don't get off the track, don't lose control, none of that. Charlotte Motor Speedway is perfect for our goal with its wide lanes, and also with the street stock cars, they really do start to get spread out on this track. If you can learn to control the car, you shouldn't have any issues. Now that qualifying is over, hit the grid button. But also make sure to quit and rejoin during the countdown. Once you rejoin, you won't be in the grid anymore. You'll be starting safely from the pits from other drivers. This is what we want. This is a way safer starting position if you're trying to avoid incidents. And then all you gotta do is just hang back and stay out of trouble. You will see that your safety rating goes up quite quickly as long as you follow these steps for each race. And it's crazy to me that I had discovered this almost entirely on my own. I did a little bit of research to find out how you rank up to the next license once I got really tired of the few rookie class races that they have to offer. And then from there, I really just sought out what was the best way to get that done. And who knows, with enough practice, you might even get good enough to make your way to the front and score some nice finishes. This was actually the series where I ended up getting my first win last week. You know, I kind of show up to iRacing wanting to do a specific thing, but the way that they set up the system encourages me to play around and pick different series. And in the long run, that's actually really beneficial because I feel that I've gained a lot of skills by doing this challenge at the Street Stock series for Charlotte specifically, just trying to basically gain safety rating. I feel like my driving skills have improved a lot. Also, here's another general tip, which is, guys, tap the brakes when you know you're coming up to a wreck. Trust me, don't try to blow past it so you can keep your time. I know it's tempting to race like you're in a video game, but slowing down instead of trying to find a lucky hole to race through is way safer to keep your incident count low, and will also prevent you from having to spend tons of time repairing your car. I would recommend anytime you see danger on the horizon, get ready to lift or potentially brake. Now for the next week, just like with week 9, I feel like week 10 is lacking for some of my tastes. I think Arca Roval will be interesting and take up some of my attention, but it's going to be a departure because I'm not doing another oval. We're doing the road course inside the Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm curious how that's going to be with the cars the way they are, as they tend to be very slide happy, but I am thrilled to get a chance to do a road course in a NASCAR style series. And the only other highlight that I see for week 10 for me is the Draftmaster series, which is an oval racing Class D rank series. The final stretch for the season 2 content in this series is all Daytona. I really love the idea of this series. The car types keep rotating between different era NASCARs and pickups, but always they're on the same track. So 4 consecutive weeks, you are going to get Daytona, but you're going to have a different car each week. And when I finally unlocked access to this race series, it was great to get more experience with a slightly longer lap time at tracks like Talladega and Daytona. I'm really hopeful that when Season 3 rolls around for iRacing, Draft Masters will still be a part of the lineup and will work basically the same way. And speaking of things I'd like to see for the far future of iRacing content, I definitely want to see more Watkins Glen. I have been sorely missing this track, as it is one of my favorite road courses, and I don't get to see it at a lot of series, which makes me sad. Also, I hope to see Pocono on the schedule for a few of these series again. I love the Tri-Oval in Long Pond, Pennsylvania, and any chance to get to race here is a gift. Though it is worth mentioning, I also wish that they would eventually add the road course version to the service, just because the Tri-Oval is cool, but other oval tracks like Daytona give you the option to also do the road course. I don't see why they can't do it for Pocono. So that's everything we got. Now, the whole point of this series, again, is just because iRacing is so damn good, and we'd like to feature it more on the channel. Once Season 2 is over, and we have more information about Season 3, I'm going to go ahead and do another one of these videos outlining the entire schedule of series and races that are going to be featured, and also talk about any updates that they have, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what to expect with Season 3. And ideally, I would also like to do a mid-season video talking about my experiences up to that point, just because the seasons run so long. They're about like 10 weeks or so. So I don't really want to just sleep on this series. I would hope that we can continue on and make as much iRacing content for the channel as we can. But of course, that is only if time allows it. But we will do our best. Anyway, thank you guys for checking out our video. If you're already on iRacing or just considering it, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your feedback. And also, is there anything I missed from Season 2 that you really liked? Be sure to comment. Again, we'd love to hear it. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Make sure to like, subscribe, really helps out the channel, and we'll be back for some more iRacing and other gaming related content very soon. So thank you, and happy racing.